taking much of your time. So my journey started approximately 2.5 years ago. I wanted to be in defense. I was part of Three Raj Naval Units. It's a very small unit post placed there in Jaipur of NCC. So from there, that torque of joining the defense forces developed over a period of time. It got gigantic. I started searching for it. Then there were two options for me, either to go for the NCC special entry or to take the CDS examinations and to join the academy. I chose the latter one. Personally, there was no personal reasons not to go for the NCC. It's a equally good opportunity to land up in the academy. So I gave my CDS examinations twice, and simultaneously I gave my AFCAT examinations. There's this AFCAT examinations for the Air Force, if you know. So I cleared all of my tests with good numbers. Like it, I was quite sure. First of all, there's no merit issues for the boys. Specifically for the girls here, I want to mention that if you are desiring to land up in the academy, it is not just the SSB interview marks. Simultaneously, you have to score outstandingly well in the papers, right? Have a keen understanding of each and everything, because these subtle things makes a difference. For girls, you have to score outstandingly well in the examinations. If you want to land up in academy, just score good in each and everything. For girls, it's a cutthroat competition out there. The word cutthroat, it is apt for it. So I gave my CDS examinations. I cleared it with good marks. I gave total of 4 attempts. So first two I got conference out unluckily. I had this thing that I'll get recommend, but I couldn't. No issues. So in my third attempt, I got recommended for the Indian Army from 32 SSB Jalandhar, and later on in my fourth attempt, I got recommended for the Indian Air Force from 1 FSB Dehradun. So I was not eligible for the aviation. I always wanted to be a pilot, never to go in the army. So sorry. So I didn't get the chance to be a part of aviation. So I went to OTM. So I had problems with medicals. Just don't think that after clearing your SSB, it is the thing. You became an officer. It is not even the first step. It is not even the first step. I know you're sitting here. SSB is a very, anyone recommended already? So you might be thinking SSB is the biggest thing. No, it is not the biggest thing. It is the first step. Do you know the first cornerstone that you will achieve towards becoming an officer? After that, there is a bigger hurdle that is waiting for you. That is the medicals. You have to clear your medicals. I cleared my medicals in the third round. That is the RMB. I got some surgical and other issues. Thereafter, my merit came. I came AIR 45 in the CDS, and I came AIR 11 in the Indian Air Force. Coming to the academy, I'll come to SSB separately. Academy is the biggest hurdle towards becoming an officer. Till the last day, I was not sure that I'll become an officer or not. It is the 7th of September that your father and mother remove those coverings of the stars. You have been declared officially as a lieutenant. Just before that time, you are not officially declared lieutenant. So it's a very small journey where you have to be at par with all the other guys. I've been training for last 4 years in NDA. I've been training for 1.5 years in IMA. So yeah, academy is one such thing where you'll learn a lot of things, where you'll make a lot of bonds, where you will get the chance to get loved, where you will love someone, you will be guiding others, you will be guided by others, you'll be molded into the officers. So yeah, what is important for you is the SSB. So I personally feel SSB is a very dynamic test, very dynamic test. You can fake yourself for 1 day or 2 days, but there'll come a time in 5 days where your actual personality will come out. Will come out, definitely come out. Assessors are no fool. They are no fool. They have been assessing candidates for like Mangej sir, Pramod sir. They have been assessing thousands and thousands of. They will catch hold of that one singular trait in a second. So just in that process, I know everyone has its own lacunas. You have to correct them. They can't. They can be changed. You have to change. You have to change your entire things. You have to first reckon the fact what is wrong with you. So starting, it's a 5-day process. Everyone knows. For the first day, I personally feel PPDT is more important. OIR is equally important. That is like a very subtle test that everyone can clear with good marks. So for PPDT is a picture perception and discussion test, right? So picture, it must be a very fruitful picture. I personally feel it should not be negative. If you are thinking negative, okay, negative stimulus will be provided to you. Doesn't mean that you have to write a negative story. You have to convert it to a positive story. What I personally feel is the most important thing for the first day is how you deliver yourself, because that's what assessors are looking from you. I am one of those guys. Even Mangej sir will. If I speak, I don't let anybody else speak. That is a kind of a positive or negative trait. I'll tell you later. So for my 4 attempts, I delivered my content in a very good way. So assessor had a very positive note of me, and I got screened out all the times. So screening was not an issue. Specifically mentioning out here, when you start delivering yourself now, that initial period of 5 to 10 seconds now, they are very important. You have to be loud, you have to be eye catching. So when I start speaking, I can personally notice it's very perceptive that all the people start having their eyes towards me. Getting my point? So whenever people speak, everyone start learning, they keep on revising those stories, but whenever I start speaking, everyone catch hold their eyes on me. You're understanding my point? That what matters, that what assessors look. So your story delivery for that initial period of time should be very good, and throughout. Discussion. Discussion should be like, there's one trick apart from all those tricks that sir says. There comes a fine point in between the discussion where you should know where to get in and where to get out. Your content should be relevant. Nobody will get the time to deliver all of their stuff. You should know the lines that will be productive for the group to take in a very positive way. And secondly, you should know where to get in the discussion. If everybody is speaking and you are getting in, it is a fruitless attempt. You must know that there comes a time when everybody is quiet. Everybody stays quiet for just microsecond or few seconds. There comes a point where you have to speak, and you have to speak loudly that everyone should listen to your other point. Secondly, you have to add up the story. It's not like you came up with a story and entirely you want to wind up that story. It's like you'll be collecting those point of different, making a cohesive story of everyone. So assessor will do that thing, that he's a motivated person, he's able to lead, he's a cohesive person able to carry along each and everyone's view. So that's it for the PPDT. Be confident, be loud, be cohesive. That's it. Otherwise, मैं SSB में कहूँगा कि just believe your mentors. What all positive things that you find from the people, just take it. Negative, even if I tell you right now, just don't take it. Personality is a very dynamic thing, specific to me, specific to you. Even today, if you find that this person is saying something wrong, just don't take it. That worked for me may or may not work for you. So the second stage is comprised of GTO, interview, and the psych, right? So coming to the psych is the most important thing. Psych, I personally feel, is the most important thing. Mentally, you have been judged by psych only, TAT. So first of all, I wanted to mention this thing, that psych, GTO, and the interview. All these three things that you do in the interview should be in sync. If you play basketball, right? If you play basketball, you should have a story, because in psych, one or the other things, they will ask you about your sports. So you should write that I played basketball there. In interview, you should write that you should speak that I play basketball, and in GTO you should be athletic. You should be athletic in your that groundwork and all. So it will come in sync. You getting my point? So they will judge you when the officers said they might be discussing, but all of these things should be in sync. If you're working as a business analyst or somewhere, you should speak that thing in interview, you should write that thing in psych, and somewhere or the other, GTO, when he'll be asking you personally conducting a small interview, you should speak that thing. Okay, all those things that you write in those in that paper, what we call them, PIQ, it should be written there, written in psych, said in interview, and done in GTO. If all these four things will come in sync, you will get recommend for sure. I'm telling you, this bit, you'll definitely get recommend. Starting from the TET, it should be very simple story. Okay, productive. Make it point wise. Make it point wise. not point wise that 1 2 3 4, but it should be point, should be productive, very subtle stories. ऐसे नहीं कि सुपरमैन बन गया ये वो, अपने से ज्यादा रिलेट करो। पीआईक्यू को याद रखना मैंने पीआईक्यू में क्या क्या लिखा था, वो चीजें ज्यादा डालना। हालांकि इफ स्टोरी गोज आउट ऑफ वे, आउट ऑफ वर्ल्ड, you have to write more of a productive story related to that. If you think that there's something displayed of sports, so try to imbibe those things, what you have written in the piq in that story. Okay. Second is WAT. WAT, so you have to practice before. Sir conducts ample of WAT test, so just write those words. Yeah, your instinct should be such before going to the interview that word is displayed able, so you'll be able to write a good sentence, not like those what we call sentences, design sentences, the less you bleed, the less you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in what, not like that, but a simple sentence. Okay, more productive one. Then comes the SRT, right? SRT should be simple. Everything is simple, yeah. Everything should be simple. SDT, self description, right? Prepare it beforehand, get it checked by Mangej sir, get it checked by Pramod sir multiple times. Keep on improving, keep on improvising. And listen, it is a 15-minute long test, right? So my SDT was always like that. I used to complete it on time. Complete, like revise, practice it multiple times before going to the SSB interview. Just make sure that SDT, what you write, they also get synced with the psych and all. They check it. Whether you play basketball, उसमें होता है ना कि what kind of person I am, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं अपने PIQ की majority of the traits try to write that. ठीक है? SDT prepare करो. Don't scribble that, don't strike through those words. उसको इतनी बार prepare करो that even after writing TAT, WATs and SRTs, you get the stability to write in one go and with a proper handwriting. I think handwriting, if anyone having a bad handwriting, try to improve, doesn't matter that much. Interview, then what I was telling you, so I used to say that I'm a verbose. I and Charush Kurana, he's my college mate. So we used to participate in debate a lot. So Mangej sir used to tell me you are very verbose. So you say a lot of things that is not required. So there come a positive thing what helped me in PPDT, but there came a negative thing that maybe acted as a hindrance for me in the interview. What interviewing officer asked me, I used to say a lot of things which was not required. Even in Fauj, for the initial period of time, you are not allowed to speak that much. Just listen to the question very, very carefully. First, those group of questions that will be asked, everyone is aware what do you do, your 10th marks, 12th marks, then your graduation. You're getting the point. So, pre-prepared answers, but even listen to those questions very carefully. Interviewing officers do change the questions, and he just sees that whether the person is perceptive or not. You're getting my point. So, be open-minded. Don't get, everyone is a repeater or fresher out here. How many are freshers? So just don't get hesitant when you see the interviewing officer. Just be brave, okay? Be perceptive. I'm saying be open-minded. ठीक है? It matters a lot. Question को ध्यान से सुनना हो क्या पूछ रहा है. So in my interview when I got recommend, he asked me one of the simple questions that tell me the 7 uses of paperweight. So he was looking for just one point whether I'm fearful or not. He wanted to. So I personally feel he wanted to just listen that I wanted to use that paperweight to throw at someone out of fear, but I didn't say that point, and I told all the other 7 uses of it. Apart from that, and all my other batchmates were coming. They told me that I said that same thing that I'll throw and I'll use it to protect myself. That was a negative trait. So be open-minded. Just be cautious what you are speaking and what all consequences that it will be having on you in the interview. I can't say anything. I think both the sir have much more. I think insurmountable amount of expertise than me. They'll tell you. Coming to GTO, the first 4 tests, as always, Pramod sir says, the first 4 tests are a very integral and very important part for you to get assessed in GTO. GD. So be a good speaker and be a good listener. क्योंकि उस पॉइंट पे जाके पता है क्या होता है, कि you get a mental block, you don't have points, right? Points नहीं होते ना, points नहीं होते, एक point पे आके लगता है you can speak but you don't have the points to speak. First deliver all your points, ठीक है? बाकी बंदों की सुनो, they will speak points. उसको मल्टीप्लाई करो, मतलब सोचो उससे क्या पॉइंट्स डेवलप हो सकते हैं. नेवर काउंटर एनीबडी, नेवर एवर काउंटर एनीबडी. इफ यू विल काउंटर person out there in SSB, you will counter people everywhere. Never ever counter. There are better ways, there are better slangs to counter people. It is better to go with this rather than saying I don't agree with your view. It is the worst thing that you can do in SSB. Okay, just understand all those points that the other people are saying and try to devise more new points. ठीक है, बहुत लोग कई बार ऐसे पॉइंट्स बोल जाते हैं जो उनको पूरी इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं होती बट अपन को होती है. तो ट्राई टू लिसन टू देयर पॉइंट्स एज वेल. इतना ही बोलो जितना सही है, बट ऐसे नहीं कि यू कीप ऑन स्पीकिंग. उस बंदा जो बंदा बोलता रहता है उसकी कोई वर्थ नहीं होती. जो बंदा सही टाइम पे स्ट्राइक्स द हैमर ना, ही इज वर्थ इट. आई एम टेलिंग यू, ही इज वर्थ इट. सो जीपी में सर ने बता दिया होगा, ह्यूमन ऑलवेज गेट द फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस. या देखो, ह्यूमन से बढ़ के कुछ नहीं है. ऑल दी मटेरियलिस्टिक टेंजिबल थिंग्स, बट ह्यूमन शुड बी गिवन द वेरी फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस. हालांकि ये सारी चीज़ें पता हो जाएंगी तुम्हें टाइम के साथ साथ, किस किस को क्या क्या, एंड इट्स अ वेरी इजी टेस्ट. हालांकि एक चीज़ का ध्यान रखना कि देयर आर सर्टेन सिचुएशंस विच कम एज अ व्हाट मगेज सर यूज्ड टू से रेड हेरिंग. इट्स कॉल्ड रेड हेरिंग. कि भैंस घूम गई और भैंस डूब रही है. सो भैंस कभी घूमती नहीं है, ठीक है, दे नेवर गेट लॉस्ट. एंड भैंस कभी डूबती भी नहीं है. तो विलेजर्स विल कम, they will tell you some things. Always keep your mind open, ठीक है. Things will be inserted in your brains as if something wrong is going on out here, but it will not be. Given the least preference, even your group will not accept your points, but go with them, ठीक है. तुम्हें पता है कि it's a very wrong thing, you just say that thing, GTO will observe you, ठीक है, will give you the points, but go with the group, ठीक है. Even if they are going wrong, your group is going, you have to go with them, ठीक है. Getting my point, additional points for the thing that you mentioned and additional points for the thing that you are going with the group. Okay, try to make sure that in the GP that delivery thing of the main group, you should be there delivering. I personally feel it is very important. Otherwise अगर कुछ ऐसा होता है नहीं हो पाया, in my 4 attempts when I got the screen in, my group decided that I should go for the delivery thing. Make sure कैसा हो. PGT, Pattavalli. I was initially bad at it. So Yashvardhan was there. I had a one more thing I want to mention. Listen, your group is sitting over here. Try to make a very good group, okay? Don't restrict yourself to an individual. अकेला इंसान कुछ नहीं कर पाता, ठीक है. Always a group that works. अपने ग्रुप्स बनाओ अच्छे, ठीक है, अच्छे दोस्त बनाओ. हालांकि सब अच्छे हैं यहाँ पे, बट मेक अ गुड ग्रुप, है ना. और ऐसे नहीं कि रिडंडेंट बातें. एवरीथिंग यू शुड डिस्कस. लाइक मेजॉरिटी ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स है, तरुण सर, यशवर्धन सर, रीना मैम, चारुशन है, दे आर अ वेरी गुड फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन, ब्रदरली बॉन्ड. सो वी हैड अ ग्रुप, यूज्ड टू डिस्कस अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. आई टुक हेल्प फ्रॉम देम. ऑल्दो दे आर माय बैचमेट्स, दे गॉट रिकमेंड बिफोर मी. सो यार पीजीटी डिस्कस करो, ईच एंड एवरी स्मॉल थिंग्स यू शुड डिस्कस, ठीक है. पीजीटी में ऐसा होता है कि यू हैव टू मेक दैट वेट, कि आगे से प्रेशर है तो नीचे से आगे सपोर्ट मिलेगा. तो आई कांट यार, इट्स अ वेरी प्रैक्टिकल थिंग. आई कांट एक्सप्लेन यू हेयर. बट यार एक चीज़ है, पीजीटी में ना वेट मत पकड़ना. आई पर्सनली फील वेट पकड़ने की और बहुत जगह होती हैं. मे बी सर माइट बी हैविंग अ कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग व्यू फ्रॉम मी. You should add a that thing that you should pick up the positive point. PGT में you have to show your leadership, ठीक है. बाद में बहुत टेस्ट होता है ना, you can pick up weight there. Go in front. जो बंदा आगे नहीं जाएगा ना, उसको व्यूज आएंगे नहीं. बिकॉज आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर प्रमोद सर ने एक चीज़ बताई थी कि जा उस ऑब्स्टिकल को देख, वो कहाँ से फेड हो रखा है, वो कहाँ से फेड हो रखा है. वहाँ पे फट्टी, जो क्या बोलते हैं, फंटा, बल्ली और रोप कभी ना कभी लगे होंगे. If you're not getting any idea from there, just go. अगर तू वहाँ पे जाएगा ही नहीं आगे बढ़ के, your group went there, you'll never get the idea, ठीक है. You don't know how to go forward, just go forward. If you are heavy, I was heavy. I was 90 kgs when I went for my SSB interview, first interviews, then I reduced weight. Nobody allowed me to go outside, to go inside, but I went inside. I have to go. अगर तुम ऑब्स्टिकल अंदर वाले को देखोगे नहीं तो ना तो तुम बंदे को आगे ला पाओगे ना पीछे ला पाओगे, ठीक है? तुम्हें बस आगे नहीं जाना, तुम्हें पीछे वाले बंदों को भी आगे लाना है, ठीक है? देन यू हैव टू मूव फॉरवर्ड. और एक चीज़ और, कभी अपना वो जो लोड है ना उसको मत भूल जाना प्लीज़. ऐसा होता है कि इंसान बताते रह जाता. देयर इज दिस पर्सनल वाला कमांड टास्क ऑल्सो ना, कमांड टास्क, उसमें लोड को मत भूल जाना. एंड दिस वन मोर थिंग, दैट इज फॉर द पीजीटी. कमांड टास्क में व्हाट हैपेंस, तुम ये सोचते हो कि मेरा आसान टास्क आई विल नॉट गेट रिकमेंड. यार वो बात की बात है, होना होगा तो हो जाएगा, नहीं होना होगा तो नहीं होगा. इट इज़ नॉट द एंड ऑफ लाइफ. खत्म नहीं हो गई दुनिया, ठीक है? वन मोर थिंग व्हाट आई पर्सनली फील, G2 ऐसे बोलता है दिस इज अ केक, this is a payload, this different names. So just don't address weight load when he has mentioned cake. Just say that bring that cake. I personally feel हर एक चीज़ का एक relevance होता है. He is checking the things. Although these are very subtle things, but he checks this. ठीक है? Snake race होती है, तो snake race में स्नेक को कभी मत, मतलब इतना मैटर नहीं आता वो टेस्ट, बट स्नेक को कभी मत छोड़ना, ठीक है? इफ यू आर ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ गेटिंग रिकमेंडेड, ही चेक्स एवरीथिंग. जस्ट डोंट लीव द स्नेक, होल्ड द स्नेक ऑल द टाइम. Help your batchmates to climb that wall. Holding that snake, even if not possible, if you left the snake for any reason, just help your batchmate. That is the only thing. And you have to clear your obstacles on your own. Just don't be relying on anyone else. Okay, test those physical tests that you have to, those 10 obstacles. It's up to you. It's on you that you have to clear your those tests and all. We used to go on the off days. And there's this bhaiya out there in the in the field. So he called sir कि sir दो जने घुसाए हमारे यहाँ पे, सर क्या करूँ? तो सर used to say कर लेना उनको. तो ठीक है, करो यार, better practice those obstacles as well. बाकी ये तीनों चीज़ें important है. लास्ट में there's this conference, ठीक है? कॉन्फ्रेंस में यार ठीक है, एयरफोर्स नेवी वालों का सही है. When you go to the army ना, those brasswood stars, when you see all those glamour and all, you get stuck, you get numb. So I didn't get numb, but I wanted to share my experience when I got recommended. I went to the conference. So he was a major general. He asked me that, Harsh, tell me who is the another guy from the same school who is there in your batch. So he was Mrinal Rawat. He was AIR 2. So I didn't know. So I told him, sir, I'm not aware. When Mrinal went inside, he said, Mrinal, tell me who is the other guy from the same school from your batch. He also told, sir, I'm not aware, and we both got recommended. Okay. So here I want to mention one more thing. यार देखो, फौजी बनने वाले हो, ठीक है? कहीं भी जाओ, interact with everyone, know your names. It's very good personality of a person to know others' name. ठीक है? कि कभी तुम जाओ आगे और फिर पूछो यार I remembered you but I didn't. It's a very bad thing. Know about their background. कितने भी लोग हैं यार, तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए अपने साथ जो ट्रेन कर रहा है, अपने साथ जो ट्रेन करने वाला है, उनके नाम, उनके घर में कितने लोग हैं. It's a very good personality of a person. ठीक है? So yeah. Culmination of everything, culmination of my training and starting of a new life in unit. That's it.
What is the screening percentage in DPA?
Yeah, few get screened out. Everybody gets in. Everybody. I'm telling you, I can bet everybody gets screened in.